I'm back. However, I'm going to miss the red. You know what I mean, as it's time to start Season 3 of... Hi there, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And yeah, it's been well over 636 days since the last game with our lacrosse team, the Calgary Roughnecks. It's been a long time since I was able to do my Calgary Roughnecks this month for a recap how our lacrosse team is doing. Well, this will be Season 3, Episode number 1, as we will be back for the going into 2022 with the NLL and the Calgary Roughnecks, as well as the Panther City lacrosse team will be joining the NLL for this upcoming season. And already next season, Las Vegas will be joining. So the league is growing, and also I did announce a few months ago that TSN was going to broadcast some NLL games with the NLL Game of the Week, as well ESPN picked up, so they'll be on the product a lot more. So as I like to do is, like I do with my Calgary Flames, my Calgary Hitmen, and my Calgary Stampeders, is I do recap games in regular segments, given the fact that lacrosse is played weekly. Figured do it for a month, but for this one to kick off Season 3, it'll just be a little preview party, and it's definitely going to be kind of a preview party feel to it. So before I get into the notes and all that, if you want to follow along this Calgary sports fans journey, just make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I have my other social links down in the description below. So what I mean about I'm going to miss the red is over the off season, the Calgary Roughnecks did a rebrand where they've changed their colors, and they're mostly going to be kind of the gray and black, taking the red out of the color, which is definitely something I miss with Calgary sports. But I'm still going to have red in this setup because that's still my favorite color. That's the colors I always associate Calgary with, and I love these lacrosse jerseys. Derek is still the main logo. However, see this mountain thing here, representing the Rockies? Actually, that got taken out of the logo, so basically it's just Derek with the rigger. So that's what they changed. And then the WestJet Field, where you see kind of the WestJet colors, the teal and dark blue in the crease area and the player change area. That was also going to be changed this season, so it's called WestJet Field at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Still call it the Rough House. But thing is, for this being a preseason game, and sometimes it's hit or miss when it comes to preseason games. I actually couldn't find a summary for this game. That ultimately we played the Vancouver Warriors on Friday, November 26th. This is the preview party. We did lose that one 13-9, as that was a 7 p.m. ball drop at the Scotiabank Saddledome. So the Calgary Roughnecks did not win their preseason game, but this is only preseason. Apparently there was 28 players vying for 21 positions on the team. All I remember, I was at the game obviously last night, first time over 636 days, as they say, because why it's been so long, and we're still haven't even began recovering from what's been happening the last couple of years, physically, mentally, and financially. But it's at least back, great to be back in the games. And I realized that the last time I went to a Calgary Roughnecks game was the end of February in 2020. I got to play with a border collie. Who knew at that time that felt like it was 20 years ago that was the last game I went to. And also the fact that I guess you could say we're still defending champs, because they couldn't finish the 2020 season, didn't have a season last season, so I guess we are still defending champs, but not under these circumstances. But like I said, I don't have a full summary of what happened. I remember it was a slow start to the game, that it wasn't until 11 minutes into the first quarter we had first goal, and then Vancouver had 3 goals, so it was 3-0 Vancouver. After the first quarter, Calgary looked like they had a goal, and do you remember the moves to celebrate a Calgary Roughnecks goal? But ultimately, Calgary had a goal waved off because of crease violation. But ultimately, Calgary did tie it up. Yeah, I believe they tied it up. I don't have the summary that they scored 3 goals in 2.5 minutes in the second quarter. But I think ultimately at halftime, if I recall, it was 6-3 for Vancouver. And I think the closest that Calgary has gotten in this game, because they never had a lead in this one, was 9-8 Vancouver at one point. And I always feel once it gets to the fourth quarter, if you're feeling with being down by 2 or 3 goals, you're really making it tough on themselves. And I felt that Calgary was always behind 2 or 3 goals, and I said ultimately lost this one 13-9. I think I recall, I think Vancouver slightly outshot Calgary. I think it was like 55-51 or something. I mean, it was just a preseason game. I mean, a couple of familiar faces were back. I mean, Christian Del Bianco was back in net for Calgary, and he didn't quite look like himself. There was a couple soft goals I felt he allowed, and there was a couple that just leaked behind him, but I don't want to keep saying it was only preseason. I mean, a couple of our big veterans won't be back with Calgary this year. I know Curtis Superman Dickinson, as I know, is still with the team, but he did not play last night. Both Kings played, Jesse and Marshall King. I saw Ryan Martell, Tyler Pace, and Dan Taylor. I know the biggest name, which I know is actually going to play with San Diego, is Dane Dobie. He's actually with the San Diego Seals now, so Dobie's not back, and I believe also Reese Dutch, the player that scored that overtime winner for 2019 when we won the championship. So, I mean, there is still familiar faces back. I mean, Kirk Mahowski is still back behind the net, behind the bench as coach, and you can definitely know that Bob McMahon is still behind the bench with his hair alone, and I know that the backup goalie to Christian Del Bianco, Tyler Richards, did retire, but he is with the coaching staff, so that's basically all I can kind of give without having a full summary with me from the preseason games. Unfortunately, we lost this one 13-9. They had mentioned that they had a scrimmage, that the Roughnecks had a scrimmage with the San Diego Seals and the Vancouver Warriors, and they won both of those. I just heard they won, so I mean, that's still one thing that lacrosse is still kind of behind compared to some of the other major sports that, like I just said, I couldn't, not even on the Roughnecks website, and even on the league website, it doesn't even have a section where you can go look at the summary, look at all the penalties, the goals, what happened, the box score with the preseason game. That could be something the NLL, could still try to improve, but basically it was a preseason game. And then, I mean, on the Herald article I read, talked about the preview game. It talked about the rebrand and who's back and who's not back, but at least it was nice to be back in the stands. And apparently said there was over 9,000 fans in attendance for the preseason game, and that's, considering, regardless where you stand on the issue, that you need to prove that you're fully vaccinated, but I would say between 9,000 to 12,000 fans, that's usually on average what we get for Roughneck games. Anyway, so it didn't seem that much lighter of a crowd for just a preseason game. So let's say that's all I have for the preseason. It's a preview party. It was just nice to get back, seeing some fans. I know some fans that go to the game and actually did bump into them in the concourse and all that. I mean, still my focus on right now is the CFL playoffs and the Calgary Stampeders, but it's definitely great that lacrosse is back. I mean, if you haven't been to a lacrosse game, it's definitely a different experience. Or, the music's always constantly going as the play goes on, and it's our other national sport. Yes, we are obsessed with hockey in Canada, but lacrosse is the original national sport, so definitely recommend to check it out. It's great value overall. If you haven't been, this will be my 3rd season as a season ticket holder for the Calgary Roughnecks. So let's take a look ahead to what will be the first 4 games. Yes, they'll be playing 4 games in the month of December, where I'll do a full recap, recap the games, because we'll actually have a game summary to look at. So what do we have in store for we start the regular season finally for the Calgary Roughnecks, which will be the next episode? Well, game 1, this will be on Friday, December the 4th, as I guess you could say it's the rematch of the championship game from 2019, which seemed like that was 20 years ago, as the Calgary Roughnecks will be on the road. They'll take on the Buffalo Bandits. This will be a 5:30 ball drop at the Scotiabank Center, which is the same place where the Buffalo Sabres played, where we wish we could have gotten Jack Eichel. I had to even throw that in this video. So that was game one, and I understand that will be the TSN game of the week. So that game you can watch on TSN as well. And then game two, this will be on Saturday, December the 11th, as the Calgary Roughnecks will still be on the road, and this will definitely be something I would like to do sometime, although it won't be that particular weekend because it's Grey Cup Eve, is the Calgary Roughnecks will be taking on the Saskatchewan Rush in Saskatchewan. I definitely would have to I do a lacrosse trip now. I've done many football trips, and the Saskatchewan Rush are based in Saskatoon, so Regina's got the Rough Riders, while Saskatoon's got the Rush. This will be a 6:30 ball drop at the SaskTel Center. It's the same arena where the Saskatoon Blades play. So the first two games in December, the Calgary Roughnecks will be on the road. The home opener, game 3, will be on Friday, December 17th, as the Calgary Roughnecks will be back at home for real for the home opener, as they will be hosting the San Diego Seals. So I guess we will get to see Dane Dobbie and Reese Dutch, as I know Reese Dutch is with the San Diego Seals as well. So we can welcome them back. There's no hard feelings on why they left, but that will be a 7 p.m. ball drop at the Scotiabank Saddledome, and I'll try to capture a video from that. I did capture video of the preview party, so you can see that. And then the last game, which will be the last game in December, before I will make the next episode recapping how December went. Game 4 will be on Thursday, December the 30th, as the Calgary Roughnecks will be hosting the Halifax Thunderbirds. That will be a 7:30 ball drop at Scotiabank Saddledome during the winter break, so won't have an issue with that game being on a Thursday night because I'll be off work. So as I say, I don't have any stats or standings to go over because it's just preseason. But another thing that is returning to the NLL for this season that never actually officially got awarded is in 2020 season. Let's go back 20 years once again. The Alterna Bank. They had the Alterna Bank Cup, which what they did was they had a little kind of season tournament with the 5 Canadian teams, and the Canadian team with the best percentage during the season will win the Alterna Bank Cup. Well, hopefully this time it'll actually get awarded officially to a team, because it did not get officially awarded because that season did not finish with you-know-what. And as I say, we still haven't, or at least me personally for sure, many others definitely haven't started recovering from it physically, mentally, financially, but at least it's great that sports is back, and we'll be back to doing some Roughneck videos. So that's all I have for my Calgary Roughnecks this month. I mean, it was late in the month when they had the game, and I figured I'll do the November episode, or I'm going to officially call this the preview party to start season 3. So the next episode will be a more full formal episode. We'll actually have game summary, talk about what happened in each game. I'll have some stats and standings to start off the season. So I'm just glad it's back, and like I say, if you're a Roughneck fan yourself, were you at the game? Or of course, going to ask, what do you think of the new look, or the lack thereof? As I have mixed, based on comments on social media and hearing some fans at the game yesterday, they were a little iffy about the look. Big one being missing the red, but the two big things is red's gone, and the mountain is out of the main logo. And then, I mean, the third jersey actually looks nice. It kind of looks like an old vintage hockey jersey that says Roughnecks. But I'm going to say, I want the red back. So if you're paying attention, whoever decided it, I want my red back. That's the color I always associate Calgary sports with, especially with the Flames and the Stampeders. The Hitman kind of is their own identity, but even half the time, Hitman even gets, meant to say, squeeze in some red in their look once in a while. So anyways, like I say, if you want to follow along this Calgary sports fans journey, home of the Flames, Hitman, Roughnecks, yes, we still have a lacrosse team, and Stampeders. Just make sure you hit like and subscribe. As I mostly do talk Calgary sports, recapping games and stories. I kind of half touched on it in this video just because it was the circumstances and the preview party. But I also do a variety of non-sports content like personal vlogs, attempt to comedy, and I also do share experience. Let's say I'm on the road or at a sport event. So if that all sounds like it'd be interesting to watch, to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, you know what you need to do. Just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I also have my other social links down in the description below, and I also do have a second channel in Brett Hornby Shorts, where I put my secondary short form content up there as well. So I appreciate like and subscribe on here on my main channel, as well as my second channel. Mostly I've been putting my quick, Calgary Flames and Calgary Stampeders post-game caps, but even if I might do the odd thing on TikTok, I throw it on there as well. Or I'm still kind of, figuring my way out in that side of YouTube, but I still prefer the long-form content, but I have both channels either way. So I'm going to say, go Next go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm just glad the NLL and lacrosse is back.